Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that I received, and the translation it reads like this: Hello, Brother Nashi, how are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? I am a woman that is currently staying here in Europe. So most of the people here in Europe, they do not even know that witchcraft it exists. And a lot of people that are from Africa, whenever they come to Europe, they immediately stop praying because they think that here those things they do not exist. They don't pray to those that used to worship their ancestors looking for protection. They stop doing it altogether. But what they do not know is that there are a lot of witches here in Europe. Maybe more witches are here more than the witches that are back home in Zim. There are a lot of people that have topologies. Some have even inherited these topologies from their grandmothers, their grandfathers, just like what happened to me. I inherited a topology which is in form of a snake. I inherited this topology from my grandmother. My grandmother herself, she was a witch, and I did not even know that my grandmother was a witch. I only got to know about this after I had gone to Zim. When I went to Zim, that was when I was told that I had to perform a task. It was just a small task, and it is my warning to other people out there. You never know when you are going to be initiated, and usually these initiations they happen when, as a family, you are in a single place. Maybe there is a funeral that has happened in the family, or maybe you just did a family get together. Since I had came here to Europe and then I got married and I had never returned back to Zim, that was when I decided that it was far much better to go back and to visit my relatives since my grandmother had passed away. I then returned back to Zim, and then I spoke with one of my grandmother's best friend. So we were just sitting and she was like, how about you show us that you still can use an African sweeping broom? So I took it and then I went and I started sweeping in my grandmother's round hut where she used to keep some of her maize grains. We call it hozi in Shona. So I went there and I started sweeping, trying to show my grandmother's best friend that I still knew how to use an African sweeping broom. And simply because I had stayed for a very long time in Europe, that did not stop me from knowing how to perform some of the duties like I used to when I was still back home in Zim. So when I was busy sweeping, I did not even know that it was like I was telling the spirit of my grandmother that I am ready to become a witch. I did not even know that this was a ritual that she was helping me to perform. And my grandmother, she had left two topologies behind. The other topology, she had already done a deal with one of these other village headmen who was her neighbor, who was also a traditional healer. That man had told my grandmother that he wanted one of the topology. He also wanted the snake that belonged to my grandmother, but my grandmother then said no, she did not want that. She wanted to give her granddaughter this snake, and before I was even born, my grandmother had already given this snake a name that was going to be given to one of her granddaughters when she is born, a chosen one. So when I was born, then my grandmother told my parents that she wanted my mom to give me a name that she already had, but this was a name that she had already given to her topology, meaning that she had chosen me. I was chosen from birth, but I did not even know that when I came to the UK that I was chosen from birth to become a witch. And at that time, that was when I had a dream, and it was quite a weird dream. I saw myself, there was this other creature that came and it sat on my chest. This creature, it was also a tokoloshi. And the next morning, that was when I spoke with my grandmother's best friend, and she told me that indeed I was a witch and I was supposed to be initiated into witchcraft. So I then fought with my husband because my husband wanted us to quickly return back to the UK after my grandmother had been buried, but I refused because my grandmother's best friend, she said, if you go back to Europe without me initiating you properly, there is a risk that you will end up losing your mind. So I even fought with my husband and he said that I cannot stay in Zim for a year without returning back to work in the UK. And that was where the grudge started between me and my husband, which resulted with me sacrificing my husband when I returned back to the UK. And when I was still back home, they started helping me. They initiated me for a year. It took them a year for them to initiate me into witchcraft because each and every time things will get so wrong whenever they would make those markings on my body. The next morning, when I would wake up, those markings, they would have disappeared. So it took them a very long time. Then finally, when I returned back to the UK, that was when I had a dream. And then that was when I was told that my husband was supposed to die. The day when I was told that my husband was supposed to die, I was at work. Since I was working as a nurse, I just went outside because I saw a whirlwind at the hospital where I was working, and I pretended as if I just wanted some fresh air. I went and I stood outside, and inside the whirlwind, there was that woman who had initiated me into witchcraft, my grandmother's best friend. She spoke with me and she told me that I was supposed to sacrifice my husband like I had promised because the whole year when I was in Zim, I had been eating human flesh, and there was a witch in that same coven who had sacrificed one amongst her own children. So now she was saying that she needs to sacrifice her own husband so that I can feed my own tokoloshis. When I tried to refuse, that was when the woman who was inside the whirlwind reminded me of the work that I was supposed to do, the covenant that I had signed when I was still back home in Zim. Then they took me to a grave. This was late at night to finish off and to sign off that contract that if I was ever going to refuse to sacrifice my husband when the coven will demand that I kill my husband using witchcraft, and if I try to protect him, bad things will happen to me. So when the time came, that was when I offered my husband as a sacrifice. My husband, he passed away and he died of pneumonia. And from there on, that was when I started sleeping with the snake. So this snake is my husband, the same way that my grandmother, the snake was her husband. It sleeps with me, and when this snake comes to sleep with me, it will start to lick me inside my thighs, and I will enjoy more than penetration when I am making love to a man. So here in the UK, I have destroyed 17 marriages. A lot of people, when they come to Europe, they just say that maybe it is because of the spirits that do not like people to remain married. That is why there are high levels of divorce in the Western world. But what they do not know is that you might be staying right next to a witch, and that witch can just bewitch you because she just hates to see you with your wife or your husband. Like in my own case, it can give me a lot of pain to know that I can never be able to have a husband again, since the snake will get angry. So if I see people that are enjoying their marriage, I'll just destroy that marriage. But I just came here to do you a favor, Brother Nashi, as well as your listeners. I just want to help people out there. If any of these things might be happening in your life, then you need to wake up, because there might be someone that will be bewitching you. I'll just list the things that will show you that there is someone that is bewitching you. signs that you are being bewitched, and you might not even know that this is what is happening to you. If you are that type of a person where each and every time you are always having bad luck, every plan that you make, you can never succeed, and you are followed by the spirit of bad luck in each and everything that you do. You have a car, it always takes out your money, it needs to be repaired at all the times, and in general you are someone that is considered to be bad luck, then you need to know that there is someone that is bewitching you. If you find out that in your life there is no one that likes you, no matter how good you try to be to people, but still they always find a reason not to like you, everyone hates you without a reason, your friends, they just use you and they dump you. Even at work, your colleagues, they gossip about you, they use you, and then they will start to say bad things about you. As a woman, you are married, your husband, when he looks at you, he sees an old woman, he sees a stranger, and he starts to hate you. This shows that there is someone that is using witchcraft on you. If you face financial problems that defies logic, you do not even understand what is going on in your life, you work overtime without resting, Sunday to Sunday, like here in the UK, there are many that I have seen that are working as caregivers. Every day they are at work, even working overtime, but when they check their bank balances, it is always low, as if you are working for nothing. Money disappears. Even money in your account can get stolen. Me as a witch, I cannot steal your money from your account, but what I can do is I can bewitch you and leave a spiritual door that will be open, such that those that are able, they can take your money, and that person will be progressing in life using the money that you'll be working hard for. And from your side, you'll be experiencing bad luck. Nothing is working in your life. Then you know that when you face these financial problems, there is someone who is bewitching you. Have you ever met someone that we can say is clumsy, like clumsiness for no reason at all? You are washing the dishes, you break plates, you are dishing out food, then you just drop the food. You really do not know what causes you to be clumsy like that. In each and everything that you do, you are always clumsy. Then it means that in your house there might be a tokoloshi, a spirit that someone would have left in your home, and whenever you drop something food, that tokoloshi will be the one that will be eating the food. Maybe you are busy dishing out food and then you spill over the food, and then you clean and you throw it in the dustbin. In your mind you think that you are throwing it in the dustbin, but you are actually giving the food to the tokologies. That is what causes someone to be clumsy for no reason at all the times. That person never seems to do something right without breaking something. Then if you see that you are someone that cannot remember their dreams, you have no memory of what you would have dreamed about the previous night. You know that you had a strange dream, but you just can't remember. No matter how hard you try to remember, but you can't remember. It is because after bewitching someone like that, when I am about to leave the room in which that person will be sleeping, there are some herbs that I burn, and those herbs, when you wake up, when you smell that smoke, then you will forget about the dreams that you would have had, that will reveal to you that there is a witch that has been using you, and there is someone that is using you. And if you experience sleep paralysis each and every week, almost after each and every day, you experience sleep paralysis and you do not understand why, then you need to know that there is someone that is bewitching you, because during sleep paralysis, that is when we bring spirits. So these spirits, if you are a man, you end up sleeping with a tokology, and if you are a woman, you will be sleeping again with a male tokology, thereby giving you bad luck. And that bad luck will also cause a lot of problems in your life. So it's like you will be caught in a prison. You keep on going round and round in a circle. This will bring sexual dreams, you sleeping with men and women in your dreams. Then there are those people that always wonder, why is it at my house there are always cats that are always hanging around at my home? And if you have witnessed that there are cats that are always hanging around at your home, then you need to know that there is someone that has been bewitching you, and this person will always send those cats to follow you. And some of these cats, the reason as to why they always choose your house as if it is their playground, it is because maybe you are sick and at any given moment you can die. So those witches, they come and they will be looking like cats, but they are witches. They will be fighting on who is supposed to get what after they start to divide and to share your flesh. Someone will say that I want a heart. Then the other one will be like, I want his or her intestines, and they will be fighting. When those cats are fighting, you won't see, but it will be the witches that will be fighting. The other witch will be saying, but the last time when we killed someone, you took the intestines, now you still want them. Then they start to fight in your mind, and you'll just see that they are cats. You'll hear these cats fighting, but usually they'll be fighting when there is someone at that house where they are usually hanging around who is sick and that person is about to die. That is when they'll keep on visiting and visiting and fighting, quarreling over who gets to get what after that person would have died. So this is my own confession. I just want to help other people never to do favors at funerals. Whenever you are gathered as a family, always keep your eyes open, especially if you are someone who has stayed away from his or her relatives for a very long time. Then you go back to your relatives. Maybe there is a family get together. You need to be careful. Something that is simple will be done. You will be asked to do a simple chore, and you might be initiated or cursed through that simple thing. Like when I cursed one of my nephew, I knew that there was someone that I was supposed to curse in Zim, but I did not know who exactly was I supposed to curse. So I took money and I put it in a clay pot where I urinated, and I left that money inside that clay pot, and I returned back to Zim. This was a family get together that we had planned. When we got there, that was when I saw this other nephew of mine. That was when I had a revelation that this was the person that I was supposed to curse. So I took the money that I had already cursed whilst I was still here in the UK, and I gave him the money, and I said, can you go and buy me just a cold drink, please? And he went and he bought that cold drink for me. So it was something that was a simple task. He was happy to do it, but he did not know that when I gave him the money, I was already cursing him. Where he is right now, he is suffering. I stole that prophetic gift that he was born with. I didn't steal it to take it. No, I just made sure that he will never receive those prophetic visions like what used to happen before I had met him and gave him that money. So that is my advice to people out there. A lot of people, they do not believe in witchcraft, especially to those Africans that are in the diaspora. They think that it's something that does not happen, but it happens. I do have a snake that I was given by my grandmother. She left it behind as my inheritance. And without me knowing, when I was busy sweeping, I was actually agreeing that I do receive this tokoloshi. And then I had to sacrifice my own husband. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our sister right there. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. Let us try to talk about this issue in the comment section. Do you agree with the signs that she is saying that when you have these signs, then it means that someone is bewitching you? Tell me what you think in the comment section.